Welcome to holopilled, your most unbiased source of misinformation. I am Kuru Binzu, along with my co-host, whatever his name is, coming to you live from one of the six dimensions.
Hello.
Oh yeah, they say that when you mutter God's real name, it sends ripples throughout the universe, but I'm sure that compares nothing to the shivers the audience might feel from me saying that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't have a name. Like, what do we call me?
Oh yeah, and I'm taking it way too seriously, but hey, that's how all great things start, with a couple of cringy missteps.
Oh yeah,
Maury Calliope.
yes.
Maury Calliope. You know how much I love Maury Calliope.
I am very aware of that. Yes.
I think she's great. I think she should
Yeah.
be taught in schools.
Uh huh.
But let me tell you, Maury Calliope as a thing, like as an entity, as a brand, has been taking L's left and right for the past 6 months, I think. Six, give or take.
How so? What is it this time?
Exactly. See. So first it was her cucking her fans through a meme, which was great. I thought it was great. I laughed. I had fun, but 4chan did not. And and then there was the incident where she said "lean" in a tweet. Now, let me be real with you. Okay, she's a rapper. She's definitely one of the rappers alive. You know,
She is. That is a
so
fact.
she does that, and I never really fucked with her, to be honest. I listen to literally everything else. You know, the
Mm-hmm.
music I like is pleasing to people with ears. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
uh, I never really respected her as a rapper, and I'm not. I don't speak for hip hop culture. I just never fucked with it like that. Now, whenever she made that tweet where she said, "I hit the lean a little too hard," I was ecstatic. I was so happy
Why is that?
because I was like, "Oh word, oh word!" She's sipping on that scissor. She's she's taking in that dirty Sprite. I was like, "Okay, okay. I guess
Oh
she's
no.
more of a rapper than I expected."
Uh huh. Is that a requirement?
I believe so.
Oh,
Ever
wonderful.
since Future came on the scene, oh yeah, oh yeah, sipping on that codeine. So I was like, "Oh wow, okay, okay." She's a lot harder than I expected. You know what I mean? I was like, "Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay." But then she came out and apologized, and a bunch of people were saying like, "Oh, I know, Callie, you want to use rapper speak, but I don't think you should be saying that on air." And then she was talking
Why?
about, I don't know,
What's wrong with it?
I literally don't
Just
know.
some stupid purple drink.
I could say so much worse right now,
You could.
and no one would care. But she says lean, and apparently that's the equivalent to the devil's music. You know,
Apparently.
especially it didn't help that she responded to it. She responded saying, "I'm sorry. I think she said something around the lines of, "Oh, I just don't want to use. I just wanted to use like urban words or like modern. That's like a modern thing, which is a weird
Okay.
thing to say, because lean is one of those complicated things. You know what I mean? Because lean is a
Is it?
drug. Okay, it's a drug. It's like
Mm-hmm.
cough syrup mixed with. Actually, I probably shouldn't be telling people how to make it. It's cough syrup. Okay, so it's
I mean, you
cough.
can. It's just a quick Google search. That's all it takes.
Oh yeah, but
It's not that difficult.
so yeah, the thing about lean is that it's a drug, but it is predominantly used by the hip hop community, i.e., So
Yes.
it's like it's a weird thing because it's like, first of all, it's a drug, and it's kind of weird to associate that with the culture. I mean, of course, you have Native Americans who have the peace pipe, but this is not the same thing. One of it's ritualistic. This one is literally just scissor. So it's weird. So for her to refer to it as the way she did rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. Uh, but that is really nothing compared to the controversy we have right now.
Oh dear.
Oh yes, oh yes.
What has escalated now? What did 4chan do?
Oh, that's the funny thing. It wasn't 4chan.
Oh,
So
wow.
recently, Maury Calliope released a April Fool's EP as her alter ego Calvin, or we can just pretend it is a totally different person. But pretty much, it's Maury Calliope as a male. Okay,
Hmm.
she's using voice modulation. She got a little bit of edited art of her as a dude, and she released an EP where she pretends
Yes.
to be Calvin, a male rapper,
Yeah.
and he released a mixtape on her channel. And see, the problem is that in this mixtape, she actively advocates for police violence. It's
Is
very
that so?
it's very scary. Yes, because she has lines talking about how, oh, you know, there's a disproportionate amount of crime amongst the black community. Therefore, we need more policing. It's completely insane. It's very
Uh huh.
scary, because
Yeah.
this is a international online platform.
Yes.
Therefore, it is very irresponsible of her to try and advocate for those kinds of things using her
Oh
platform.
yes. Very.
This is clearly not what she said, but
Oh yeah. I imagine so.
but pretty much she was the joke really was she was trying to be a shitty rapper, which funnily enough actually made her sound better than most of her albums. But
Crazy how that works.
yeah. So like she was just trying to sound like a like a just an okay rapper, specifically a SoundCloud rapper, okay?
Hmm.
And so there's a specific sound that comes with that. Personally, I didn't really get that, you know, because I've listened to some SoundCloud rappers. There's a distinct style they all emulate. They all try to emulate that trap rap lo-fi style that was popularized by like Juice World and XXXTentacion,
Yeah.
Ski Mask, the Slum God, all of them. There's a specific style that they're trying to emulate because that's just what's in right now. But I didn't get that. I really didn't get that, which I think says more about how tone deaf Maury Calliope is with the actual hip hop culture. But that's a whole other conversation. Um, so when I listened to it, all I heard was, "Oh, it's just supposed to be copying like a shitty rapper from 2010 or something." It was just a shitty rapper.
Hmm.
And that's not to say she was shitty because like, oh, she's whack. I mean, yeah, there were whack bars, but it was a joke. I mean, of course, when you're doing something stupid but you're being ironic, it doesn't matter because you still did something stupid.
Yeah.
However, racist, racist.
Racist.
Yes, because what the controversy circles around is the fact that it sounds like Maury Calliope is trying to sound like black people.
Is that so?
And this is be serious. No, I'm not joking with you like anymore. This is
Oh, I believe you. I believe that that is the controversy.
the controversy is that she's trying to emulate SoundCloud rap, and therefore she's making fun of SoundCloud rap, and therefore making fun of the black community.
But the, but not the entire SoundCloud community is black. Obviously, do they not realize this? Do they not care?
See, it's easy for you to say because you're not part of the struggle. You know what I mean? You're not in it.
Perhaps.
You're thinking of everything from this mind that's been conditioned by colonialism, by the industrial revolution, modernity, all these things you wouldn't get.
Uh huh.
Neither do I. But you know, I'm gonna be real. All she did was release a pretty mid mixtape. That's all she really did.
That's it.
You know. But no, people are in a fuss, and I'm gonna keep it real. This is where it gets weird. Okay, this is where it gets weird, because I'd like to argue that the people that are mad and are strongly passionate about these aren't real Hololive fans. You know,
That's generally how it goes.
because let me tell you, there in this world you have hating ass motherfuckers, and I'm one of them.
That's right.
I am one of them. However, out of all the videos I've made talking about Hololive on my channel, I not once did I really say I hate Hololive, I hate VTubers, I don't think they should exist. No, it's a form of
Yeah.
expression. It has its
Mhm.
merits. I do believe they could do better in a lot of things, but never did I really like spend time advocating for their downfall. You know.
Yeah.
However, you do have people like that. You do have people who believe they are a complete abomination, 4chan, and they will stop anything until they're gone. Because I mean, a lot of that's deep rooted stuff. You know what I mean? A lot of that stuff that's they hate women. You know what I mean? They hate women.
Yes,
And the
it's
last thing they want
fortunate.
to see is a real world woman bastardizing their idealized anime vision.
How dare they?
And some people will take it as far as to find reasons to hate them. Like, you can't just hate it. Like, you could say, I don't like VTubers, and that's
Hmm.
it. It ends right there.
It's reasonable. To each their own.
Yeah. But then they have to twist it and say, I don't like this certain VTuber because, and they just, spin the wheel and because they're racist. Because they're racist.
I don't like Coco because she mentioned Taiwan. You know,
Oh, yeah.
there's something. There's always something.
And I mean, to each their own. To each their own.
To each their own.
But still, this is just weird because it's like at this point, it's kind of like they just have momentum, Because, like I'm saying, Mori Calliope as a brand has been going through fire and the flames for like 6 months now. It's just
It's like she can't catch a break.
she really can't. And so she has to go on her alternate ego, which I shall not name, to go complain about
Yeah.
it, which was fun to listen to.
Uh huh. I was wondering why I was getting clips from her more often.
Oh, yeah. But because these are legitimate accusations of racism, which
As stupid as they may be, they do gain traction on Twitter, and traction, like whether it's warranted or not, is not a good thing. Like bad PR is always bad PR, whether the people claiming it are irrational or otherwise.
yeah, and and it's just I can see where the argument comes from, but that's the problem. Is like you're kind of like jumping through hoops to come. You're doing some mental gymnastics to come up with these reasons. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like you could say what you will about Maury Calliope's music, it is bad. It's not
Yeah.
the best, man. Like I'll be real with you. I never listen to those songs like unironically or I have them bumping in my car when I'm going down Main Street. I never.
Yeah.
There's one song I like, which I'll talk about at some point, but still, it's like I never. It is weird because hip hop as a medium is black music. It's black music. Like, you can't really argue with me. That's not a
Yeah.
racially charged statement. That's nothing. It's just it's hip hop. It's black music. A lot of people would say hip hop is music that's used for by the unrepresented, the unheard. That's what it was truly because during like the '60s/'70s when it started coming up, it truly was that. Still is for a lot of people. I mean, even nowadays, I believe it's even more of a cry for help with all of the emo-ish rap, all these emotional, depressive raps. Once again, Juice World. You know, it is nowadays. It's even more of a cry for help. I'd even argue. So it's weird when hip hop, which is a black medium, it's black music, and specifically black American music. Like it is music made by Americans,
Yes.
essentially. It is weird when it gets used by other cultures. Like
Yeah, I've heard of British hip hop. It's kind of weird.
British hip hop's terrible. Never.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, but what's worse than British hip hop, in my opinion?
What?
My opinion, Japanese rap. Japanese.
Dang.
It's worse.
Hey, it kind of hits sometimes, but I'm probably biased.
It doesn't.
Dang.
So.
To each their own.
Oh yeah, but I mean, because I've listened to some of their rap, and it's just like, hmm. Now you can't judge it off of the same merits that you would judge hip hop here in the states because they literally rhyme differently. Okay,
Yeah.
here in the United States, at least here in English-speaking countries, you rhyme,
Yep.
you rhyme words and their pronunciation. So cat,
Yeah.
hat, rat, tap. You know, lyrical, miracle, spiritual individuals. Those.
Yeah.
That's how you rap. That's how you rhyme. Over there, it's fundamentally different. Over there, because of the way kanji works, which you probably know more about this than me, is that
Yeah. There's a lot more ways to rhyme things because there's a lot more words that have the same pronunciation.
yeah, I heard Like I was reading an
And
article and they were pretty much saying that if you wanted to rhyme in Japanese the same way you would in English, pretty much every word would rhyme.
yeah, it would not be difficult at all, especially with verbs because they all have almost the same conjugation rules. They're very consistent.
Therefore, the basis of rhyme, at least in terms of like hip hop and song over there, it's not even based off of like pronunciation or anything like that. It's based off of
Yeah,
syllables,
yeah,
you know?
the entire language.
Which is why haikus don't work for us, but it works for them. Because,
Yeah,
haikus, 5 syllables, 7 syllables, 5 syllables. For us,
yeah.
that's stupid. It doesn't make
Mhm.
any sense.
But in Japanese, the entire like the writing system is uh syllables. Like each character is one syllable. Unless it's a kanji, then it might be a couple. But it's always based on syllables.
It's bars. Those are bars for them, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, when you listen to it, you can't base it off of that kind of thing anymore. You can't really base it off of content, at least in my opinion, because you literally don't understand what they're saying.
Yeah.
So you have to base it off of production and other aspects of it. So when I listen to at least a few Japanese artists who rap I've listened to, I don't really hear much from a lo-fi scene over there. But that's only because I'm well versed. I don't speak for the black community. Okay, I'm just saying, like, especially just the type of hip hop that Amori Calliope does, and the type of artists she rubs elbows with, and the people in their circles. Uh, they, because I can't see the content because I don't know what they're saying, I had to focus on the production and the lyricism. And it seems that they fall into this pitfall in hip hop that's multi-syllable rhyming. Okay,
Mhm.
multi-syllable rhyming is pretty much the concept where instead of rhyming one word at the end of the sentence, you know, you know, don't push me cause I am close to the edge. I am trying not to lose my head. That's
Yeah.
standards. That was standard stuff like in the 80s, 90s. But then you have multi-syllable rhymes. His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater already. Mom's like that's multi-syllable.
Mhm.
Now instead of just rhyming that last part, you're actually rhyming almost the entire line fluidly.
Yeah.
Like it just the cadence, the rhythm in your head's just so natural. It's great. But
Yeah.
there
Close
is a
feelings.
pitfall with that where
So,
you can over rely on that and you try to ham fist words to rhyme with each other. And when you do that, you have to sacrifice content. So, for example, we go back to that verse I just said. This was from Eminem's "Lose Yourself." The first verse is his palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater already. Mom spaghetti. Like that, in of itself. Even though the last line is kind of weird, everything as a thing. It's describing this character who's standing there getting hyped up, getting ready to do something, and it's talking about how he looks ready. It's describing
yeah.
something. There's content there. There's something to materialize in your head. But however, then there's a pitfall where you sacrifice content for just rhyming for the sake of rhyming. And that's where you get stuff like the contemporary Eminem, who's rapping on Godzilla, like a paraplegic and it's scary, call it Harry Carry, cause every Tom and Dick and Harry carry a Marianne motherfucking dictionary. Got them swearing up and down, they can't spit, this shit's hilarious. It's time to put these bitches in the obituary column. We wouldn't see eye to eye with the staring problem. Get the shaft like a steering column. Like, I spoke that. However, if you listen to the actual track, he's just going nuts to
Yeah.
bolts. You know what I mean? He's going off the rails, off the grid, whatever you want to call it, with the rhymes. But the thing is, while it is very impressive that he is rhyming almost every syllable with each other, it's not saying anything.
Hmm.
I didn't say
What
anything.
does it mean?
There was no substance. It wasn't that clever, you know. I
It sounds impressive, but yeah, it's a bit long.
I heard this one criticism that somebody said he effectively turned this expression of art into a equation because he found a mathematical system in which to rhyme words rather than just expressing something. Fair criticism. So what does this have to do with anything? Well, a lot of the people that Mori Calliope takes, what's it called? Inspiration from, a lot of the people Mori Calliope collaborates with, they all follow kind of this same style of multi-syllable rhyming times 1,000.
Hmm.
To where I never fucked with it, you know? I never fucked with it. However, once again, I don't speak for hip hop, but that's where I go back to my main point where it's like, it is a predominantly black American art form. So it is weird when another culture uses it, which I'm not saying it's weird. I'm just saying it could get weird. Like I could see where someone would make an argument out of it. Okay? And these are the Asians, this is the Japanese using it, they're doing their own thing with it. You know, God bless them. And then you have Mori Calliope, who her rap, the way I can only understand is that her rap isn't black American rap. Her rap is Japanese rap, you know?
Hmm.
So it's
But
like
in English.
but in English, but it's so it's like in its own league, I guess. And that's not I'm not saying it's a good league. I'm not saying it's high on the hierarchy. I think it's pretty bad. But
It's just different in a different category, if you will.
oh yeah. So that in of itself is already kind of weird for me. Like it's starting to get weird for me to wrap my head around. Once again, still not racist. It's just a very
Yep.
interesting situation where somebody likes hip hop, but they don't like contemporary black hip hop. They like contemporary Japanese hip hop. And, and so, but going back to the whole racism thing, yes, Twitter is all up in a thing. Well, I don't know, like once again, Twitter's not a real place. I think it's
It's not.
literally 2% of like the world population.
Yeah. The loudest 2%, if you will.
Oh yeah, it's a terrible place.
Yeah.
Therefore, it makes sense. Like that's not necessarily representative of the actual masses, you know.
Yeah.
But it's still interesting, especially how her entire style of hip hop revolves around the production style of the Japanese rappers, and I don't like it because the way the Japanese hip hop does it, or at least the ones she collaborates with, it's overproduced. It's so many strings, it's so many sound effects, and it's just word after word after word after word. It's
It's a wall of sound, you know?
the wall of sound, exactly. So it's like it's terrible for me. So it was very interesting to see her try and actually kind of emulate a bit of a western. And
Mhm.
so I don't like it. I don't enjoy it. It's weird. So it was really nice to see her try and emulate something contemporary. And the only, once again, the only real sin she made was making a pretty whack album.
Yeah.
That's the only sin she truly made was
Just something kind of mid.
it was a cringy EP. But hey, she tried.
Mhm.
That was the only real sin she did. However, oh my,
Twitter
yeah,
happened.
they hated on her for Lean, even though Lean isn't even that much of a. It's not even a controversial thing.
It's not. It's just the funny purple drink.
And
How is it? That yeah, Twitter.
then it's just it really is just a lot of people who already didn't like her as a
Yeah,
thing, just
that's
trying to
generally how it is.
just looking for new ways to get on that train of hate. It sucks. It's a lot of things. It's a lot of things, but it's not racism. Okay, it's a
Yeah.
lot of things. See, it's like this. It's like this. It's like this, man. If if I did what she did, like if I put out a really terrible mixtape, is that a racially charged hate crime?
I don't think anyone would care. So you're not popular like Mordecai.
Like no
You
one
don't
cares.
have a reason for someone to hate you for no reason.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
I get it. No, exactly. You're right. No one cares. See, that's the thing. Nobody cares. Nobody actually cares. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We have infrastructure issues, man. We have infrastructure issues where we have a disproportionate amount of African Americans in prison, and I don't think a lot of them are having their eyes glued to a screen, hoping to take down Maury Calliope.
Yeah.
Like this is the source of all hatred and bigotry and all racism. You know, this is it. This is the ultimate. This is the ultimate enemy. If we take her down, it's
Mhm.
great. Racism doesn't exist anymore.
Racism has been solved. Maury Calliope is gone.
Now, I want her gone for various reasons, but not because of racism. You know, it's great. It's really great. I mean, but that's kind of irks me mostly because, you know, these idols already are under a very harsh schedule, harsh working conditions. They're real
Yes.
troopers. You know, but and all you have is Maury trying to do something different. And in my opinion, she did something right because she actually tried to like, even if it was a joke, she did try to tap more into a style that I fuck with, and it was different and it was new, and it was
Yeah.
actually,
It's a niche that definitely hasn't been tapped by other VTubers.
and it's really not a niche, you know, because what she
Sort of.
did with the EP, what she did with the EP was pretty much tap into like literally modern hip hop, just contemporary hip
Yeah.
hop.
Not necessarily a niche, but it's something that other VTubers aren't currently doing.
Exactly.
It's something special to make her unique.
And so that was really nice for me. But now it's like she put one foot out the door, and my God, did they step on that foot? They just
Oh
absolutely
yeah.
teamed up on that foot, and it's like how can we expect them, or at least how can I expect them to push their boundaries and art when we shit on everything they do? You know?
Yeah. Well, and, you know, that's why it doesn't happen. That's why you don't have very many VTubers like Lord Calliope that do things that are particularly unique like that. However mid they may be.
And so it's a very funny situation. It's just great. It's a great time we're living in to see that to see just Maury Calliope get absolutely decimated every couple of weeks. It's like a regular thing, you know.
Yeah.
And
Schedule.
she's definitely not going to renew her contract. Oh my
Hey.
god! Just me. As soon as that contract's over, look, Maury. Here's a little bit of advice: run while you still can. Get while the getting is good, and then run. You know. I mean, I'm sure her Hololive personas already boosted the sales of her actual professional persona.
Oh
So
yeah.
I think she's already reaped as much as she can. I mean, I'm not advocating.
Unintended.
No,
Dang.
but you know, uh, you know, this is never meant to be a long term thing. You know, like if you
Yeah.
actually genuinely wanted to be a VTuber forever, you should probably be in prison. You know, I don't know. I don't have.
It's not something you can do for the rest of your life. Like you're gonna fall off eventually.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Or at least you gotta do something else.
who was it, Kazuna Ai, who gets replaced? Like her soul gets replaced every
Oh
2 weeks.
yeah. I don't even know what's happening with her, honestly. Like at some point there was like three different voice actors using he's an eye, and the only way you could tell was like the color of the ribbon. And then recently I think she just actually left and now she's on hiatus or something. I don't know. I don't understand he's an eye. That's been a whole thing.
Great, wonderful. You know, just you know, take for example, you know, just take it as an example, Mori. You know,
Yeah.
uh, oh, it's great. It's wonderful. You know, because they have good old Money Mori, just trying her best to be the best rapper alive,
Yeah.
utterly failing, but trying. And
I'm trying nonetheless.
dang, you really can't. You can't please this audience. I mean, yeah, I understand that. I understand that you're always gonna have haters, but you know, at this point, racism. Come on.
I mean I'm sure there's plenty of people who genuinely enjoyed it, but it's just the vocal minority that very much wants to see Calliope burn.
It's just a testament. It's a testament to power, really, truly. I'm not trying to say everything revolves around power, but it does kind of just fall into this thing where it's like, you know, we have something to prove, I suppose. And so I
Yeah.
guess she's just the perfect target, mostly because she just seems to be the most problematic. She's already doing stuff that's like her just as a thing tapping into hip hop culture. If you're not black and you're trying to do anything in hip hop, it gets weird.
Yeah.
It gets weird. I mean, thank God for like Jack Harlow, who's currently he's like the most popular white rapper, and he has credibility. He's gotten respect. He's great, you know. But it's not easy being a white rapper, you know.
Oh yeah.
So imagine being a white rapper in Japan, pretend to be a Japanese character, singing essentially like a parody of Black American music.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Like yeah, that's difficult to fit into that.
Yeah. If you, Maury Calliope, if you're listening to this, my advice: just go, just go away. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Like it's not worth it. It's not worth. No vale la pena. You know what I mean? What do you think? How do you think the people in the Hollow Earth feel about Maury Calliope? Like, do you think they listen to her down there?
I'm very curious as to if the internet is the same. It could be a completely different civilization. Some people claim that it's a very simple society. They're not actually very technologically advanced, but it's also possible that it's the complete opposite. That they're extremely technologically advanced and like live for hundreds of years. So maybe their issues are far less important, or maybe our issues are just completely irrelevant to them. Maybe they don't care. Maybe they absolutely bop to Calliope's newest EP. You never know.
I think
Like
Maury Calliope should have a concert in the Hollow Earth.
absolutely. We just have to get her to Antarctica.
Yeah, and that's gonna be a whole
You
other
gotta find the
thing.
hole. I don't know where it is though. It's like right at the South Pole.
We'll find it. We'll find
Oh
it.
yeah. Do you know how to fly a plane?
Nope. But I mean, if Maury Calliope pays me like $10,000 right now, I'll take her, have a concert in the Hollow Earth. It's a untapped market. Maybe they'll like her more
It
down
is
there.
completely.
You know.
However, it is completely possible that they also have their own VTubers. Perhaps some of the current VTubers in our world are from the Hollow Earth. You never know. Like, I'll never know.
I wonder if Mume believes in the Hollow Earth.
Oh, I do wonder. She does seem like the one to have some interesting opinions. She's probably the most likely to.
The guardian of civilization ought to know if there's a fucking civilization underneath the Earth's crust.
Oh, yeah, yeah, you're right. Think about it.
Well, maybe we can have him as a guest one day, and I can ask him.
Oh, perhaps we gotta find one of them. There's more entrances than just Antarctica. That's just the main one that I know of. I'll have to look more into it.
I think Amelia Watson studies conspiracy theories. I mean, she's a detective. I mean, it makes sense. It's a passive
Maybe so.
just a little bit. You know, I wonder what's Amelia Watson's opinions on Pizzagate.
Pizzagate.
Oh yeah.
Oh right, that was the QAnon thing.
Oh yeah, the QAnon billionaire pedophiles who eat babies in the name of
Oh
safety.
yeah, that turned out to be true, but it's QAnon, so like no one takes it seriously,
Oh yeah.
and now it's just a dead end.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna pretend like that's where we just ended it. Like we weren't just here for 30 fucking minutes looking for a name. Anyway.
Yeah,
Okay.
it never happened.
Yeah, it never happened. It's in the void. This will be in the outtakes on the Patreon if you pay us $20. Yes.
You get to see us waffling around trying to figure out my freaking name.
While I read lore about Moses. So,
That's right.
so anyway, okay. Well, that's about all I have to say about it. And, you know, hopefully we were able to entertain you for at least a good 10 minutes with something moderately insightful. Probably nothing that'll come back to bite us in the future.
Of
So,
course not.
oh yeah, because that never happens. So, welcome to the first and final episode of the holopilled show. We're never going to speak to the audience ever again. We're never
Name
going to
pending.
record another episode, or we'll have another one next week. So,
You keep you on your toes, you know?
yeah, it's like a toxic relationship. You just
You
never know
never
what's
know.
going to come next. Okay, that's it.